football at UW, and I'm going to go be a badass because it's what I do, and it's what I promised I'd do, and it's what I told my family I'd do, and it's what I told Seattle I'd do. They know who I am. Seattle's got my back.
Let's go! Hello, dog fans.
My mentality kind of had like a whole switch going into COVID. I knew that with a big piece of adversity like that, there would be people who folded and people who made the most of it. And I knew that in terms of the people who were going to make the most of it, I was going to rise to the top of that list. After my sophomore year, I pretty much had no cred. I didn't have a reputation yet. I was just a Seattle Prep linebacker, on our team. So I knew I had a lot of work to do to make up some ground. So basically what I did was I transformed my body and my mind to be ready to go play football in the Metro League at a really high level. Came back out that spring season when we finally got to put the pads back on and just got to hitting people. Started hitting people from Eastside Catholic, some heavily ranked players. We beat Eastside and O'Day that year. Pretty great team. I was really fortunate to be a part of that, and kind of started to make a name for myself in that, draw some attention over there.
Okay, let's rewind just a little bit. You didn't just have a game against Eastside Catholic. Okay, you kind of established the Austin Harnetiaux brand right there.
For sure, I did. Yeah.
I'm just off the top of my head, I think he had 13 tackles, 3 sacks,
something like
that. Forced fumble, interception, and a fumble recovery.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, I think I had 14 tackles, though. I'll correct you on that. Don't try me. Yeah, that was definitely my breakout game. It was funny because not a lot of people were allowed in the stands, but those who were there, I know Scorebook Live was there. I know some other media outlets were there. They wanted to see the #1 team in Washington, Eastside Catholic, right? And I don't know, I made their guys look silly and threw them around the field and, flexed my arms. And I like to think of myself as a little bit of an entertainer too. I get real swept up in the moment. I have my gladiator moments where I just like to be the man in the arena. Throw people around, flex my arms, and I think people like to see that. People like to see a hard-nosed hitting linebacker just go wreck shit, and I think that's what I do a great job of, and that's definitely what helped garner some attention my way that year.
You're starting to make a name for Seattle Prep,
right?
But still, you were under the radar
completely. Yeah.
And even though you had all those stats we rattled off,
right,
were you kind of surprised at the non-reaction?
Not at all. I mean, one thing that I have kind of adopted into my mentality, my parents have always told me this, is you can only focus on the things that you can control. And I'm not worried about who recognizes me, who's got stars, who's got offers. I don't focus on that. At some point, they're all going to have to see me on the field, and I don't care about any of that stuff. Publicity's great, media's great. Any attention that I get, I love it. I'm here for it. But I also have to understand that at the end of the day, I'm Austin. I'm a football player. This is something that I go out and do regardless. And the lack of attention for me has never been really an issue, even though I think I know I'm better than the attention that I've received. But at this point, I'm just grateful. The people who have been with me, those are people who I have respect for, and like yourself, you've been with me from the beginning, and I'm not turning my back on that, and I'm loyal to a cusp. So that's just a little bit about who I am.
Okay. Well, you talked about all the people that missed you. I sent your senior tape down to an NFL scout, okay? And I had him, I didn't tell him who you were,
Okay.
He'd watched stuff like J.J. Watts.
Sure,
He watched a bunch of these guys and tried to project who they would be, where they would go to college. It was all high school tape.
Right. Okay. High school senior tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is their reaction to yours.
You gotta turn it on.
Okay. Good instinct. Definitely a football guy.
Oh, yeah,
you know
he's
what I
a
mean?
football
Like
player.
the demeanor says, I'm a football guy.
Tough as nails.
You know what I mean? And I like the fact that he's a stud and plays special teams. Avoid, and make the play. And he blocks.
Sideline. Finish.
Okay. So I love this kid.
I like this kid.
Lives in dreams football.
Definitely. His best football is definitely ahead of him.
I like his instincts because he's always around the ball.
Boom.
Watch him be a kid that has no offers, right? And
in the NFL.
and we're all sitting here wondering how do you like Josh Allen? That we went through Josh Allen.
How do
before.
you miss that?
How do you miss Josh Allen?
Ball
This
player,
kid's
right?
a football player.
He doesn't look like he does 7-on-7.
Yeah, he's a
in
kid that
spring.
could be a captain on the college team,
Yeah,
and he's
coming off
the
edge.
edge. I
Working
like
his
the way he
hands.
comes off his-
Okay. Motor.
Oh, he gonna track him down.
Cha-choom. Hawk.
I like it.
Nice.
I'm sold. I'm a buyer.
Power 5.
Okay.
He has to go Power 5. You don't offer this kid any other, especially if you in that town.
Because of all this, I'm gonna say he probably ended up not being Power 5.
He probably definitely
Probably had to walk onto a program. All right, we're all sitting here wondering who this guy is, but his film's amazing. Like, why?
this is-
Like,
this is
so who is this guy?
Yeah, man, that's good.
So they're like they're just
block.
they can block,
That's the best.
but they're just amazed that people are getting paid
great, Mike.
to miss guys like you.
Right. Right.
They're like clear Power 5 offers.
For sure.
To have to walk on, to not have a Power 5 offer other than walk-ons at Wisconsin, at Washington. I think you had one at Wazoo.
I did.
A preferred walk-on.
Yes, sir.
You chose Washington. It has a history of walk-ons.
Yep.
Jeff Jager became a walk-on All-American.
Yep.
4 years, a walk-on became an All-American, went to the NFL, played for, I think, 12 years as a kicker.
Yeah.
You have Edifon Ulufashio.
Yep, that's my guy.
Was it their history with walk-ons, or was it just you saying, I'm going to stay home and show them what they missed?
Right. I mean, I think it's a whole accumulation of things. Washington's amazing. They have a good program. They have a great program, even with walk-ons, and I think they're like everywhere else. There's opportunity. The best guy will play. They're not stingy, and I think that's what I'm betting on. Like, I'm betting on like the program that I'm trusting, but I'm also betting on myself even more. Like, I know what kind of caliber player I am. Those who know my game know what kind of caliber player I am. And at the end of the day, like, what's one more person to prove right? I've got enough names to check off of people eating their words, and I don't mind a couple more. That's kind of who I am at this point. It's grown into a persona, an alter ego. 4-4. Like, that's kind of who I've embodied. That's who it is. Who turns people on their feet and are like, how the hell? Like, who is this? And I love giving people that reaction, and I don't mind it. Like, you can have, like, as of right now, like, I'm gonna go get my money. Like, I'm gonna go get my scholarship, and all that is just that's just paying for school. Like, I'm gonna go play football at UW, and I'm gonna go be a badass because it's what I do, and it's what I promised I'd do, and it's what I told my family I'd do, and it's what I told Seattle I'd do. They know who I am. Seattle's got my back, and they know what I can do. They know who I can be there, and I think the opportunity is there. Take it.
One thing that the scouts noticed that there's the famous he can block,
Right.
but it's the one thing that he said. This guy is a captain in college.
For sure.
Doing something like that, that's a pretty bold statement, but what they saw was from the tape of you doing everything that is necessary, whatever your team asked of you.
Yep.
What in your heart, what in your mind makes you go out and just not give anybody, you give the other team a little bit of lip, but not your coaches, not your teammates. You go out there, and what is in your heart, what is in your mind that really makes you give up your body for your team?
It's ultimately it's loving the guy next to you. It's like having a bond with your teammates and being a leader. When you know you can do better, like you act on it. And that's just always been instilled on me. And yeah, I'm gritty. I'm a nasty dude when it comes to the football field. Like I'll drive your face into the dirt. I don't care who's lined up next to me. But at the same time, I have the utmost care for the guy who's like lining up behind me, lining up right next to me, and those are the guys who I care about. I think it's more like, it's not how much I hate you as the other team. It's how much I love the guy next to me and how much I'm willing to sacrifice like my body, or like I'll get on guys on the field. Like I think that's a part of leadership. Like you care about this. You're here for a reason. Like let's go whoop their ass. Like this is what we do. We're football players, right? We're nasty dudes. So that's just one thing that we do. And the rest is just heart. I think it's just always been that way for me. 100% effort, 100% of the time. Like I don't care how I'm feeling on a Sunday morning after a game, or on a Saturday morning after a game. If my body's beat, I did my job, and all I know is that my body's feeling better than the running back.
What's it going to be like for you to be standing in the tunnel and you can hear the crowd out there yelling, "Go Huskies," and you look down and there's a 44 on your chest and you're about to walk out onto the field? Have you visualized that yet? I've
been visualizing it since I was a kid. Always going to Huskies games, and it gives me chills. Like I will run out of that tunnel one day. Like it will be something that I can say. Like I'll strap up the purple and gold helmet. Like being able to say that I will do all that stuff, and in the manner in which I hope to accomplish all these goals that I have for myself, these standards that I set very high, they're constant driving forces. Like that's what you do it for. Can't wait to play in front of this city, greatest setting in college football, in front of my town. Like I know, like my little brother's going to be in the stands. Like my family's going to be there. Teachers are going to be there. Like this is the place. And Washington's where it's at. Seattle's where it's at. And I'll be running around Almont like hitting dudes in no time.
Who was the guy that you looked down onto the field and you were like, that's a bad dude, I want to be like him?
Oh, that's tough. Burke Irvin. I watched a lot of Ben Burke Irvin, and he was a dog. And one thing that I noticed, I always like the linebackers. They hit hard, they do everything on the field at a high level. And one thing with him is he just didn't miss tackles. Like if he was in the right spot, which he almost always was, he was securing a tackle. Like you're not getting your legs free. Like he was a dog, and he played with a lot of passion, and that's definitely something that I admire.
Right now you are spending a lot of time over at FSP, Ford Sports Performance.
Yes, sir.
They say that you can't cheat the grind over there.
You can't.
And I'm hearing that you don't cheat it at all, that you talk about what workouts you're doing and you kind of where you are height, weight, and speed.
So right now I'm 6'3", flat, and I'm about 227 to 230 pounds. I'm fluctuating there. But when you write this, you can say 230. I'm fast as hell. Like I'm running with the wide receivers, and And the DBs, I'm right up there with them. I'll beat them in races too, and they don't like, they're mad at me for it because I weigh 50 pounds more than them. But it's just like a power thing. I've just worked for it. But yeah, we do these competition Thursdays every Thursday. Like, if FSP is known for something, it's they compete and they gnash their teeth in training, and that simulates a really strong competitive nature. And I think I haven't lost one yet, and that I've been going there for a year plus now, and I just haven't lost one. I don't lose on Thursdays. Like at FSP, and like, this is what I do. I don't care who's on my team. I just want the guys who are going to work hard, the guys who are going to be dogs. And, you know, other guys in our group, Tristan Dunn, Denzel Boston, other UW commits, you know, we get that place jumping. We're ready for the UW weight room. We can't wait. We're ready for practices. You know, like, when we go for heavy sets, we all just start barking. Like, we'll just bark, and we'll get loud and nasty, and like we'll smack each other, we'll hype each other up. It's what we do, and we're ready for it, and we're ready for the next level. And you know, it's coming up quick, but we're ready to charge right in.
Let's go! Hello, dog fans.
Last year this time, Washington was ranked 18th in the country, seemingly standing on the outside looking in. Although, in fact, some did have Washington as a dark horse to make the playoffs. Is this the year of the encore? Or was last year just the opening act, the undercard to a national championship run, as predicted by Mel Kiper? Now Washington is starting on the inside, and it feels to me like last year was 1990. And now we're in 1991. We've been forced to live in the past over the last couple of decades, but now we can live in the moment. Has order finally been restored to the Pac-12? Do Husky fans finally get to enjoy the greatest setting in college football the way it was meant to be enjoyed? Well, the Dogs not only have home field advantage that can shut down opposing offenses, the Huskies also have an offense and a defense that can shut up other teams' fans on road games. In a few days, Husky Nation gets to cut it loose again as number 8, Washington, opens the season in Piscataway, New Jersey against the Rutgers University Scarlet Knights. This has been a long, hot summer with little rain at all. But I think Husky fans are in the mood for some rain, all right. Some purple rain.
Come and get them!